Hey everybody, Bill in Virginia. Welcome back. So, been out for a while and starting to do more on the On30 part of the layout, kind of coming from the bridge and starting to work my way across. You can see what I've done here just to kind of highlight some of the different rock strata. And this will be more visible after I move the layout a little bit because it will knock the powder farther into the grass, and you'll see more of the grass itself. Like right now, I've got the Woodland Scenics ground cover, the turf, in and around the grass. Once the grass dries and I move the layout a little bit, the ground cover will kind of settle and kind of fall, which is fine. But you'll be able to see the grass tufts a little bit more distinctly. So got a whole bunch of them scattered around in here. Those will come out a little bit better a little later. I've put in additional ground cover into the back. I've still got to come in and put my deadfall, ground up leaves and some other stuff, but I'll do that later. This area over here, I think I'm going to leave just exposed like rock. I can look into there and it looks kind of cool from the direction that I can look in. Looks like tortured rocks that you would see in a mountain. So I'm good with that. I'm not going to be doing anything much lower than this. At some point I will come back in and I will add some moisture seeping out of some of the rocks, in particular like down here. I will use chalks to do some additional highlighting, but I wanted to get some of the areas where it would make sense to have some soil holding on to the rock face and have some grass put in place. Now I can start to work my way around. I can finish up this area here. I could add more grass up here and then kind of work my way that direction. And it's not going to be too long before I will be able to ballast that particular track, take that down to the seam. And then, like I said in the last video, start bringing scenery back up this way. So let's see what I can get done in this one. So it's been 5 days since that last video segment in this episode. Been traveling for work again, this time down to North Carolina. And as I always do, I will map out if I'm driving and see if there's any hobby shops along the route that I'm taking. I don't go out of my way, but I will go, a mile or two off the interstate, to get to a hobby shop if there's one, that I'm going by. So this trip, I went to 2 different cities and ended up 2 different hobby shops. So I went to Nick's Trains. See a price sticker right there. And then I went to the little choo-choo shop, which is in Spencer, North Carolina. And those that are familiar, that's the North Carolina Transportation Museum. Been there years and years ago, a wonderful place. But this time I got, as always, an eclectic assortment of stuff. So some N-scale stuff that I can put together and put over my industrial area. A dummy HO scale engine. I've got one of these that's powered, so that's going to look nice on the layout. And for $10, couldn't go wrong on that. A bag of assorted stuff, mostly HO scale switch stands, and a variety of other little detail things, including stirrups, stands, different things. Some barrels, some aluminum roof materials. $5 bag of wood. This might go over where the surveyors are on the On30. We'll see. Then also some weeds that are going to go on the O-scale river scene. Got some plaster items for the HO scale. And then everything else is pretty On30. It's got a lumberjack with an axe. Guy hammering things, an assortment of brooms, small hand tools, a variety of tools for around an engine house, and then axes for in and around the lumber yard. Then I got this little bag here from Boulder Valley Models, let me see if I can get out of the light a little bit better, quarter tender, enough to make 2 of these little cars. Just need the couplers and the wheels. Then I got this, a little work boost kit for On30. Again, I need couplers and wheels. I got plenty of couplers, wheels I'll need to get. Then I get in some more O-scale detail parts here. And then over here, well, right here, a joiner kit, HO scale, little metal model. I can put that together. But right here is an On30 engine, and this was from Nick's Trains. You know, it's got motors in it. I haven't tried running it yet, but this is somebody's work for a kit bash model. And, you know, nice little model, 20 bucks. And then also I got a bag of other stuff, and looking at the bag of other stuff is, there's the kit. That was for this model. So somebody at some point in time had gotten one of these boxes, was kit bashing for their On30, and this one's never been opened. So they had another box that they were using. So I've got one that's full. Here's some odds and ends, including an engineer, some hand railings, some different things that I think probably is for this. So I was really happy to get this, a nice little deal. So I'm gonna work on that at some point in time. Put that on the On30. I'm gonna open it up and you know, give it a check and make sure it runs and whatnot. This I have, you know, I really doubt that it's DCC, but I'll open it up and just take a look because I don't know, I might get lucky. But anyway, this is stuff that I've got that you're gonna see slowly populate on the different layouts. I paid for a large quantity of goods from Caboose Stop Hobbies in Cedar Falls, Iowa. That'll be coming hopefully before Christmas, and that will keep me busy for a while as well. But let's go back over here and pick up where I left off, going around the bend and getting some scenery done this week. So Saturday morning, and I've been out adding some of the brush up along the ridge here by the On30. So just adding some materials to help build out different areas up here. And just kind of going across this way, cut across in front of the tree. There is the seam between the 2 sections. I still have to finish up over here in the middle section. I never did finish those areas up, which I don't know that I'll do it today, but I will do it at some point in the future. So what I am ready to do is I am ready to mix up some more ballast. Got to sift it out of the materials that I've got, and I can get the tracks done. So I will be doing that here soon. Another thing that I'll be doing soon is I will be coming back over to here, and I'll be adding in that underbrush, which is you know, small pieces of super tree material in and around through here. And I still have to come back in and add that underbrush all the way just along this embankment over here. Not a huge amount, but enough that it stands out and you can see that it looks like underbrush. So quite a bit more to do. So I will get started and see where we end up. So I have a bunch of super tree material that is pretty much ready to go onto the layout. Now, a lot of these are fairly good size, like that's 6 inches. These are not trees for the contest, as the contest is over, and these will not be more than 3 inches tall. You can see I only finished the upper about 2 inches. I'll snap and use the top because it's straight. Likewise down here, I will pull off the individual pieces and use cut, pull, all of that. So I will get dozens of little sprigs out of this little bit of super tree material here, and that will go on over here and then around on the back side of that. Once I get that done, then I will come back over and I will start to put the ballast down on the On30 up there. I've got to vacuum the tracks a little bit to get rid of some of the stuff that fell as I was doing some work up there. And then I can also start putting in grass and adding other details along here. So that's kind of the plan. Next will be super trees, and then over here on the On30. Underbrush has been added along the little dirt road over here in this scene. So I've used a few sprigs in there, the super tree little pieces scattered around. Added some over on this side, as well as, let me scoot over here, as well as over here. So this scene is now essentially done. Again, deadfall and some other things will go in under the trees, but at a later time. So now I'm going to turn my attention over here. Let's get started with some more ballasting. So I have the ballast put down. I will glue it up here in a little while. You can see I've added some additional rock details just around the track bed. So I'm happy with how that looks. It'll darken up a little bit when I wet it down and glue it up. Then the next step will be to come in and work in along here. I will add some additional details like what I've got in here across the rest of this, some of the ground cover, as well as some super tree material in and around. So I should be able to get that part done for this video. I will get the ballast glued up, and then I will start on here. That way the next video I can transition and I can be starting to work down on this piece up to the bridge. So a little bit more to come. So just have glued down the ballast. So that takes care of the last of the On30 on this module. I do have more that I have to do in the center module over where I've got the little work area. So that'll be the last ones that I get done, but this is good enough for now. I'm gonna let the glue soak in. There was quite a bit of fine grained material on this, so it's soaking in. It's just taken a little while. Also have come back and have added additional underbrush in through here and along in through here. You can see the glue is still wet on it since I just got that done. All the way up and then to, around on the cliff here. In this area, all across this new stuff, I will start putting in more of the small super tree, little sprigs and little bits and pieces to kind of flesh that area out. And then once that's done, start the O standard. So almost have the upper level, or at least the On30 up on this side, wrapped up. I've still got to do, again, underbrush, a lot of other stuff. And I still got to do some work over on that center module, which, we'll get to that. Anyway, let's get the super tree material in, and that'll probably wrap it up for this one. So Saturday night is wrapping up for me. I've got the little super tree material added here. Still using a bit of the reddish ones. I really like the texture on that. And then some other super tree material that have been given different shades of green to give me a little bit of a variety here. But you can see, looking at it this way, you can kind of look through it. It looks really nice for underbrush. Up top it looks good too. So I'm down through here. Same thing. Got the stuff in. Looks nice on the cliff face. And then as I transition a little bit over to here onto the other module, I still got things I'm going to do over here. I'm going to add grass, add a few other details that I didn't do on the first, but that'll come later. So right now, I am ready to start doing the last little bit of O standard gauge scenery up to at least this part. Like I said before, this part right here is going to be its own video as I get to there. But the next one will cover this next little stage. So the layout is coming along. I got to get some trains running. So on the next video, I will run some trains through this. and we'll see how everything looks. So with that, keep having fun on your layouts. Until next time.